Welcome back to Declutter and Done. The other day I visited a friend's house and was impressed by how organized everything was. Even though they have a big family, I realized the key isn't just cleaning constantly, but how everyone in the household pitches in to keep things tidy. It was a game changer for me, and since then I've been using some of their tips with great results. Today, I want to share 12 simple but incredibly effective tips to help you keep your home clean without spending all day on chores. These tips not only save time, but also help you build easy-to-maintain habits that keep your home organized with minimal effort. I can promise you these strategies really work. I've been using them for a while now, and my house stays neat without me having to overdo it. If you're tired of cleaning without seeing lasting results, this video is exactly what you need to create a clean, organized home without all the stress. Let's dive in and get started. All right, number 1. Let's talk about a little routine that can make your whole day feel less chaotic. You know that feeling when you walk into the kitchen in the morning and instantly feel exhausted? The counter's messy, yesterday's stuff is still out, and before you've even had your coffee, you already feel behind. It's like starting the day with a catch-up mode without even realizing it. I've been there. Here's the trick. I've been using a simple morning and evening routine. In the morning, I just do 3 things. Open the blinds, clear the kitchen counter, and pick up anything that's out of place. Nothing major, just a quick reset so the day doesn't start off feeling like an uphill battle. Then in the evening, I wipe down the kitchen and put everything back where it belongs. So tomorrow me walks into a clean space instead of a mess from the night before. When I skip this loop, mess piles up slowly. Laundry starts to accumulate, the kitchen becomes a nightmare, and suddenly small tasks feel like big ones. But when I stick to this rhythm, nothing ever gets out of control. I wake up to a home that feels already okay, and that little shift sets a completely different tone for my whole day. Tomorrow I'll share a super simple trick that'll cut your cleaning time in half. Just by switching up the order, you clean your home. So stay tuned. Now that we've got the foundation in place, let's dive into cleaning your home in small, manageable sections, instead of trying to do it all at once. Some days the house feels overwhelming simply because everything seems to need attention at the same time. The kitchen looks messy, the hallway looks messy, the bedrooms look messy, and your brain doesn't even know where to begin. That's the real source of the stress, not the mess itself, but having no clear starting point. Zone cleaning fixes that by giving each space its own moment. Instead of trying to clean the whole house, you clean just one area fully enough that it feels refreshed, but not so deeply that you burn out. It might be the living room today, the bathroom tomorrow, the entryway the next day. The order doesn't matter as much as the consistency. What makes this approach so helpful is how it changes the emotional weight of cleaning. When you know that today is bedroom day, the rest of the house suddenly becomes quiet. You're no longer pulled in 5 directions. You're not jumping from room to room, leaving everything half-finished. You give one space your attention completed. And that sense of completion is what keeps the home feeling manageable. A real example on my kitchen day, I don't deep clean the oven or reorganize drawers. I just clear the counters, wipe things down, and do a quick floor sweep. 20 minutes, maybe less. And the next day when I walk into that kitchen, it feels like the house is cooperating with me instead of resisting me. Without zones, cleaning becomes a loop of starting and restarting. You touch one area, then drift into another. And by the end of the day, you've worked hard, but nothing looks truly done. Zones break that cycle. They give you a finish line you can actually reach. Now that your cleaning has a simple structure, the next step is making your home itself easier to maintain by reducing the friction that causes clutter in the first place. Every home has a few problem corners, the places where clutter keeps coming back, no matter how many times you clean them. Maybe it's the shoes at the door, the mail pile on the counter, or the kids' things gathering in the hallway. Those spots don't stay messy because you're disorganized. They stay messy because there's too much friction for things to go where they actually belong. Once I saw that everything shifted, Instead of blaming myself for the mess, I started asking a different question. What makes this spot so hard to maintain? And the answer was almost always something simple. Shoes stayed out because the shoe storage was too far from the door. Mail piled up because there wasn't a place to sort it right away. The kids dropped things in the hallway because taking them upstairs felt like too much effort in the moment. So I removed the friction. I put a shoe basket right by the entryway. I added a small tray for incoming mail so it didn't float around the kitchen. I placed a low bin near the stairs, so the kids had a place to toss their things instead of leaving them everywhere. These weren't fancy systems, just tiny adjustments that matched how we actually live, not how I wished we lived. And the difference is immediate. When it's easy to put things away, they actually get put away. You stop feeling like you're endlessly cleaning up after everyone, and the house stays calmer simply because objects finally have a place that makes sense. With your problem spots finally cooperating, you're ready for a change that makes cooking and cleaning the kitchen so much easier. The kitchen is one of the fastest places to fall apart. Not because we're messy, but because cooking creates constant little tasks. Chopping, wiping, rinsing, putting things back, and they pile up quickly when you're tired or rushed. If every meal requires a full prep session from scratch, the kitchen never has a chance to reset. And eventually, the mess feels bigger than the meal itself. What made the biggest difference for me was shifting from prepare everything every day to prepare once benefit all week. I now pick a moment, usually Sunday afternoon, to wash herbs, cut a few basic vegetables, portion out snacks, and cook a simple base like rice or roasted potatoes. Nothing fancy, just the things I know we use over and over again. It takes about an hour and the payoff lasts days. During the week, instead of chopping onions at 6 p.m., when I'm already exhausted, I'm simply grabbing ready ingredients and assembling a quick meal. And because I'm not pulling out cutting boards, knives, peelers, in 10 different containers every night, the kitchen doesn't explode into chaos. The cleanup after dinner goes from, this is a whole project to 5 minutes, and we're done. Without this routine, cooking feels like a daily mountain. And honestly, on some nights, it's the reason takeout wins. But with a little weekly prep, the kitchen stays calmer, meals come together faster, and the whole space becomes easier to maintain. Now that the kitchen feels lighter, we can move to another part of the home that tends to control our mood more than we realize: the never-ending cycle of laundry. Laundry gets overwhelming for one reason: it doesn't look urgent until suddenly it's taking over the entire house. You ignore it for a day or two, thinking you'll get to it later, and then later arrives as 3 overstuffed baskets. No clean uniforms for the kids, and that sinking feeling of, how did this get so out of control? The shift for me came when I stopped treating laundry like a project and started treating it like a rhythm. Instead of waiting for a huge pile, I run one small load a day, even if it's just towels, workout clothes, or a half-full basket. A small load is easy to wash, easy to dry, and most importantly, easy to put away without procrastinating. What helps even more is simplifying the end of the process. Instead of letting clean clothes sit on the couch where they magically multiply and nobody claims them, I sort them straight out of the dryer. Each person in the house has a small bin, and clothes go directly into the right one. No folding marathons, no chasing socks around the living room, no staring at a mountain of clean clothes. You have no energy to deal with. When you don't have a laundry rhythm, the mess spreads fast. Baskets in the hallway, clothes draped over chairs, that guilty feeling every time you walk past the pile. But with one daily load, the cycle never gets a chance to explode. Laundry becomes background noise instead of a weekly crisis. Now that the everyday systems are falling into place, we can move into something that makes the whole home feel calmer, identifying the areas that drain your energy the fastest, and learning how to fix them for good. Every home has that one spot that constantly tests your patience. The shoe pile that never stays put, the bathroom counter that's always cluttered the bags and jackets that seem to multiply near the door. And it's so easy to think, I just need to be more disciplined. But the truth is, if something keeps getting messy again and again, it's not a discipline problem. It's a system problem. What changed everything for me was looking at these irritating spots and asking one honest question. Why is this so hard to maintain? Not why can't I keep this clean, but what about this setup makes failure the default? And once you ask that, the solutions become surprisingly simple. For example, my family used to leave bags all over the entryway. Not because we're messy, but because the hooks were too high and the closet was too cramped. I added 2 lower hooks and a shallow basket for quick drop-offs, and suddenly the space stayed tidy without anyone trying harder. The same thing happened with bathroom products. Instead of telling everyone to put things back, I added a small open bin under the sink, and that alone cut the clutter almost instantly. People naturally use whatever system feels easiest in the moment, so if the system is simple, the space stays clean. Without these microsystems, your home keeps asking for effort you don't have. You end up cleaning the same spot 3 times a week and wondering why nothing sticks. But when you match your home to the way you actually live, not the way you wish you lived, upkeep becomes almost automatic. And the emotional relief is real. Less nagging, less frustration, fewer. How does this get messy again moments? Now that the biggest friction points are finally cooperating, we can shift into something equally important. Giving yourself permission to have imperfect days without letting the whole house unravel. One of the most exhausting parts of keeping a home is the silent pressure we put on ourselves to be on every single day. You know those days when the kids are sick, work runs late, dinner is rushed, and suddenly the house looks like it aged 5 years in 5 hours. And somehow, even when you know the day was impossible, you still feel guilty for not keeping up. That guilt is heavier than the mess itself. The truth is, no routine survives a real-life bad day, and it's not supposed to. Homes are living spaces, not performance spaces. Life happens. Energy dips, kids melt down, plans shift. And if you don't make room for the messy days, they will always feel like failures instead of something completely normal. What helped me most was simply allowing those days to exist. Instead of expecting myself to catch up at night when I'm already exhausted, I tell myself, this is a skip day. The house can wait. And somehow naming it takes away the shame. You stop fighting the mess and stop fighting yourself. You sleep, you reset, and the next day you pick up right where your routine left off without the emotional weight. When you don't give yourself this permission, every slip feels huge. One undone load of laundry becomes a mountain in your mind. One messy kitchen becomes a story about how you're falling behind. But when messy days are planned for, or at least expected, they stop derailing you. They're just part of the rhythm. Understanding this makes your entire home feel kinder. And with that pressure lifted, you're finally ready for the habits that make a clean home feel natural rather than forced. There's a moment most of us don't talk about. We wait to feel ready before we clean. Ready to fold laundry, ready to wipe the counters, ready to pick up the hallway. But motivation is unpredictable, especially when you're already tired. If your home depends on your energy level, then your home will fall apart on the days you're simply human. The real shift happens when you stop relying on motivation and start creating habits that are so small, they don't require any push at all. Tiny actions that fit into the edges of your day. For example, I have one rule. Every time I get up from the couch, I grab one item that doesn't belong and take it with me. Not a pile, not a full cleanup, just one. It's so doable that I never talk myself out of it, even on exhausted days. And strangely, that one item habit keeps the living room from turning into a weekend-long project. When you depend on motivation, your home yo-yos between really clean and how did it get this bad? But when your home runs on small habits, the extremes disappear. Things stay manageable, you stay steadier, and maintaining a tidy space stops feeling like a test of discipline. With these easy habits in place, it becomes much easier to move into the next stage, reducing how much stuff your home has to hold in the first place. One reason our homes feel overwhelming is simply because there's too much to manage, even when everything is put away. It still feels like there's always something out of place. That heaviness doesn't come from laziness, it comes from volume. Too much stuff means too many decisions, and too many decisions drain your energy before you even start. The easiest way to fix that isn't a giant all-day clean-out. It's something much smaller, tiny waves of decluttering that you can do without thinking. Choose one drawer, one shelf, or one corner, and spend 5 minutes removing anything you don't use, don't like, or don't even notice anymore. No pressure to finish a whole room, just one small space at a time. A simple example, I once started with just the bathroom drawer where hair ties, expired products, and random samples kept piling up. Clearing that one drawer didn't change my whole home, but it changed how I felt because every morning, instead of digging through clutter, I reached straight for what I needed. That 5-minute reset paid off every single day. When you try to declutter everything at once, it's too big, too emotional, too draining. But when you remove clutter in small waves, your home becomes lighter in ways you can feel immediately. The air feels clearer, surfaces feel calmer, and suddenly staying tidy doesn't require nearly as much effort. And once you've made space by decluttering, it becomes easier to set up the systems that support the rest of your day and keep everything running smoothly without constant work. Even with good routines and small habits, life still piles up. There are weeks when the house feels off, not a disaster, gone, and that in-between mess creates a kind of background stress you carry without noticing. It's the feeling of I can live with this, but I don't love it. A weekly reset helps bring everything back to a calm baseline without turning into an hours-long cleaning session. It's simply a moment each week where you walk through the house and bring it back to functional, not perfect. For me, that looks like putting stray items back where they belong, wiping the surfaces that get touched the most, tossing out anything expired or empty, and making sure the spaces we use daily feel open again. 15 to 20 minutes enough to clear the noise, not enough to drain you. One Sunday evening, I did nothing more than gather the cups from every room, fold the blankets in the living room, and clear the kitchen counter. None of it was dramatic, but the feeling afterward was. The whole house felt lighter, like everything was lined up for the week ahead, instead of dragging behind me. That's the power of a reset, a small lift with a big emotional return. When you skip weekly resets, clutter accumulates in the corners of your home and the corners of your mind. Tasks blur together. You spend more time searching, shuffling, and redoing. But with a gentle reset built into your week, the home never falls far from livable calm, and you don't have to fight your way back to order. With your weekly baseline in place, the next step is creating a home that quietly supports you, especially in the spaces you move through every single day. A lot of clutter doesn't come from having too much stuff, it comes from storage that doesn't match how you actually live. When the systems in your home require extra steps, tight spaces, or too much effort, things naturally drift to the nearest surface. Not because you're messy, but because the storage is asking more from you than you realistically have to give on a busy day. What made a huge difference for me was choosing storage that fits the behavior, not the ideal. For example, if everyone drops things near the door, forcing them to use a deep closet won't suddenly change that. But adding a shallow basket or a low hook right where the habit already happens, that works. The system adjusts to the people, not the other way around. One simple fix I made was in the hallway. We used to shove extra shoes into a narrow cabinet that required bending down, opening 2 doors, and finding the right slot. It looked organized in theory. In reality, everyone just left shoes by the mat because it was easier. So I replaced the cabinet with a wide open bin. Nothing to open, nothing to stack. And like magic, the pile disappeared because the new system matched the natural flow of the house. When storage is complicated, the house constantly slips out of order. But when storage is simple, open, and easy to use, things naturally go back where they belong without effort. That's the goal, not a perfect system, but a supportive one. And once storage starts working for you, maintaining a clean home becomes less about effort and more about alignment with how your life actually moves. The biggest shift in keeping a home that feels calm isn't about routines or storage or systems. It's the quiet decision to stop chasing perfection. Perfection is what tells you the house should always look guest-ready. Ease is what lets you breathe on the days when life is heavy, and the sink isn't empty, and the laundry isn't folded, and you are still doing your best. I spent years believing the problem was me, that if I were more disciplined or more organized, the house would finally stay under control. But the real breakthrough came when I stopped asking, how do I make everything perfect? And started asking, how do I make this easier on myself? That shift alone softened everything. One night, instead of forcing myself to deep clean the kitchen after a long day, I simply cleared the counter and stacked the dishes for tomorrow. Not ideal, but it was enough. And the next morning, instead of waking up defeated, I felt relieved because I didn't push beyond what I actually had to give. That permission changed how I approach my home. When you stop aiming for perfect, you start building systems you can actually live with. Systems that support you on tired days, busy days, sick days, and real-life days. And strangely, the less pressure you put on yourself, the cleaner your home stays. Not because you're working harder, but because the work finally fits into your life, instead of competing with it. This final shift creates something no cleaning routine ever will: a home that feels like a partner, not a performance. And that's everything: 12 simple shifts that work together to create a home that feels lighter, calmer, and so much easier to maintain. None of these steps require perfection or hours of cleaning. They're just small things done consistently that gently support the life you're already living. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't try to do all 12 at once. Choose one, just one. Let it settle into your day, and then add another when you're ready. A peaceful home isn't built in a weekend. It's built in tiny moments of choosing ease over pressure. And remember, you're not trying to become a different person. You're simply creating a home that fits you better, your energy, your schedule, your real life. When your home aligns with who you are, everything feels lighter. You have more room to breathe, more time for yourself, and more mental space to be present in your own life. If you want to go deeper, I've got a video that breaks down how to declutter each area of your home without the overwhelm. It's the perfect next step after this one. And if this video helped you feel a little more capable, a little more understood, or just a little less alone in the mess, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You deserve a home that feels good to live in every single day.